So, before we go any further, I would like to read the translation of Sarasvat Arati that we sing, Jayare Gaura Sarasvat, because it is so important for us. And I might speak, but I don't think I'm going to sing very much because cautionary activity. So, Jaya Re Jaya Jaya. No, I can't find the page now. Goras are 75. But anyway, you don't necessarily need the page unless you're translating, because we want to express Jaya Re Jaya Re Jaya Gaura Saraswati Bhakti Vinodhanvaya Karuna Murari. So first of all, this is composed by Srila Guru Maharaj. And sometimes we assume everybody knows everything. We were talking today about the children in Krishna consciousness. We assume that the children of the devotees know everything, but they don't. And this was, basically they've got to be taught like everything else. Children of a mathematician may not know mathematics unless they're taught. So anyway, if you are aware of all of this, that's fine. Repetition of a good thing is good. But this arati was composed by Srila Guru Maharaj for exactly these deities, the deities of Gauranga Gata, and applicable for all of the mats where the deities of Gauranga, Radha and Krishna are installed by whatever name, because it's named, a name for the Lord, and sometimes we see our deities being referred to as Radha, Giridhari, etc. And that's Krishna, Govinda Sundar, he is not wrong. They have their specific names. So, but this article was actually specifically for the deities of Navadip when they manifested. Long, long ago, when none of us were born. Oh, not sure the year. Anyway, long, long time ago, when at least most of us were not born. Okay. So, all glories, all glories, all glories. Jai, Jai, Jai. Gaura Saraswati. To Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Bhakti Vinodi, who is intimately connected with Srila Bhakti mercy. So all glories, all glories, all glories to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is intimately connected with Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur and is an embodiment of three Gauranga's mercy. And here in Puri, we've seen Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. This is glories to Srila Saraswati Thakur. We've seen his birthplace, we've seen his ashram, his temple, his bhajan kutir on Chatak Parvat, his bhajan kutir there. And you've heard about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the discourses in these places. And Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who was his father in the physical sense. But Srila Guru Maharaj clearly explained his father, Srila Bhakti Vinod, primarily not as his father, but as his spirit. This was his primary. And the custom is that you do not take initiation from your father or directly in the family, as it is. And so, for keeping the custom, then Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur directed Srila Saraswati Thakur to Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji, who was an intimate friend of Srila Saraswati Thakur, an intimate associate. And Srila Saraswati Thakur can recognize where the current is existing. So he referred to spiritual establishment for initiation. The principle, this intimate connection spiritually of Srila Saraswati Thakur with Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And Srila Saraswati Thakur is an embodiment of Sri Gauranga's mercy. Then next verse, Thakur Shri Gaura Seva Bhuvana Mangala Bhakti Siddhanta Shuddha Pragyana Ujjvala. Beneficial to the which is universe. Pure devotional conclusion is Siddhanta Shuddha, Bhakti Siddhanta Shuddha Pragyana Ujjvala. So your pure Shuddha devotional conclusions are effulgent with absolute knowledge. Radha Shyama, Radha Shyama. Who is Shyama? Put your hand up if you know. Who is Shyama? Maharaj? Don't know who is Shyama. Oh, Shyama. Oh, here is Shyama. Hey, you won't win. I suppose we have to give you prasada. Okay. Anyway, so Shyama means blackish, and this is a name of Krishna. We all know these things. Anyway, Krishna has many names. You might have heard this before. And if we were in South India, if we were, well, some feel this is South India. It's not really South India as yet. But in South India, then the Sahasranam, Vishnu Sahasranam, you hear that all over being recited. And maybe you could give us the first part of the Vishnu Sahasranam Subhasini. Can you recite it? Without looking at the phone?
No, she's not.
And hear the meter, because this is very, she'll give it in a very South Indian way. You can do it? Okay, we got to listen. Don't worry. But we do hear over the loudspeakers, isn't it? All over South India. From the temples they chant this thousand names.
Actually, that day when we went to the Jagannath Puri temple, they were playing the Vishnu Sahasranam also.
Oh, one day in the early morning.
Yeah, one day when we went, actually,
Yeah.
they were...
That was that same. Yeah. Okay, anyway, so many names of Krishna, and one of them is Shyama, black-stick. Shyama, Sundar, beautiful black, Sundar, beautiful black. Anyhow, so all glories to Sri Radha and Shyama, the Lord. And Shyama Priya, who is dear to the Lord. And Priya with a long A, it is female, who is so dear to the Lord. This is Radharani. And Dasi, servitor. So all glories to Radha and Shyama, who are combined in the one body of Gauranga. Radha Shyama, Ekatanu, and then Dakshe Gaura Raya, who is on the right side. Oh, but it's on the right side of Krishna. Otherwise, you're looking at the altar. No, Gauranga is on the left. But the etiquette for saying the location of the deities is from the subject's point of view. We are not the subject, the subject. So, on his right is etiquette for the deities. So on the left is, then we will say, oh, look, on the left is this, on the right is this. But actually, the etiquette is on the right, in brackets, of the Lord, is Gauranga. So is Radha and Shyama in one body. And all glories to Srimati Radharani, who is on the left side of the Lord. And glories to him who is in the middle and who is none other than the supreme cowherd boy, Sri Shyama Sundar. Yes, come and have a seat. You're going to get picked up, man. Of course you are. Okay, but have a seat. Pull up a chair. Pull up a chair right here. Please pull up a chair. Govinda, Govinda. And while you pull up a chair, I'll keep reading. So then, Braja Rasa Nava Bhave Nava Dipe Rante Udave Madhura Raga Abhinava Saje. The mellow, the rasa of Braja, Vrindavan, Braja Rasa, Nava Bhave, new mood, and Navadipe Raje. So it says here, is present in Navadip in a new mood, but Raje even like really predominantly present. The king is predominant. And Uddare Madhura Raga Abhinava Saje. What does Abhinava mean? Abhinava Sundar.
No?
What did he escape? I was talking with him about this.
It's something new.
What?
Something new. Abhinava means something new.
Something new. Well, let's see what the translation is. Oh yes, probably in a new mood. Navadipira Uddare Madhura Raga Abhinava Saje. But anyway, we will read the translation here. When the sweet loving sentiment is mixed with magnanimity, then it shows itself as uniquely beautiful. Can you help with that? With this at all? Or we just happily accept, right? Okay. Well, we were just thinking about Abhinava.
Oh. And this is the verse that you just read.
Yes.
Not like present melody, in a new mood of magnanimity. Right. And the sweet mood sometimes makes with magnanimity that shows itself.
Anyhow, there we got the translation. We're not scholars, as you guessed. And we've got the translation. Yes. Then now, Madhurya Kaivalya Raga Brajera Nirjasa Prakti Parakashtatahe Gauranga Vilasa. Madhura Rasa, conjugal love, is the essence of Braja Dham, and the pastimes of Mahaprabhu take it to its highest perfection. Through the separation. Union in separation. Next verse. Earnestly accepting Sri Radha's mood and beauty, Bhava Kanti. So Radha, Bhava Kanti, Angikari Halokmani. He has taken his place on the right. That's the next line. Dakshine Asana Rasa Gorima Dekati. To show his glorious position. And the etiquette in, as I say in India, but in like the Vedic India, is who sits to the right. The sequence, it will be sitting when you go right, and who is on the right will be the senior sannyasis, the younger sannyasis, the red-clad senior brahmacharis, the younger red-clad senior brahmacharis, the white-clad older brahmacharis, like that. It's going in that order. Prasadam time in Navadip, we would sit like that. And I mean, that was the etiquette, that's how it happened. And so then the devotees are served, and they're being served prasadam from senior to junior also. I mean, this was the original Chaitanya, original Chaitanya Sampadan, in the sense of when it was predominantly the Indian etiquette, and before we had the new prasadam hall with the, multiple 2 floors, another prasadam hall, etc. But when we were taking prasadam seated on the ground, right beside the temple on that raised red platform that you will have seen there, That's where we took Prashadam, seated there. And that's how it would be served. So on the right, why is showing his glorious position? That's the etiquette. So Mahaprabhu is on the right side of Krishna and Radha to show his glorious position. Radha Rasa Prayasada. Okay, seeing Krishna's mischievous desire to understand the glory of her love. So, and then, okay, so Krishna's wonderful sweetness that only she can relish through her transcendental qualities, and the happiness she feels from Krishna's sweet love for her, Radharani is very pleased, and there's a subdued smile on her face. But to make it clearer for us, so we don't have to remember all the previous expressions, what is the verse saying? That Radharani is very pleased, and there is a subdued smile on her face, because she is seeing Krishna's mischievous desire to understand the glory of her love, and Krishna's wonderful sweetness that only she can relish through her transcendental qualities, and that the happiness she feels from Krishna's sweet love for her. And it sometimes happens this way around, that they give a whole list. And I've read some of the translations, and in the Sanskrit, this is Bengali, but in the Sanskrit, some of the verses, they give a whole list of qualities, and then on the last line, and sometimes I'm thinking, are these good qualities or bad qualities? And, I mean, what's this list for? What's it going to be for? But it is like that sometimes. Sometimes you get a whole list, and then halfway down, I'm thinking, you know, what's this list all about? And can I remember all these? Should I be thinking that way about this? It happens. It comes up. Then, in the middle, Banksidha. So, Madhye Rohi Bankshirave, Koshi Bankshirara. So, Bankshira, Krishna has different flutes. One of them is called a Bankshi, and he's the Bankshida, he's the player of the flute. So, in the middle, Bankshida is playing his flute. You can see. Right, he's playing his flute. Thinking that only by the wealth of Radharani do I become Gauranga Sundara. Only by the wealth of Radharani do I become Gauranga Sundara. In India, don't you know, they can do the magic to meditate, to levitate it. Hare Krishna. Then, so what is Krishna thinking while playing his flute? He's thinking, only by the wealth of Radharani do I become Gauranga Sundara. And he's continuing thinking, my most cherished form is revealed in the temple of Radharani's heart. And that highest manifestation of myself can be attained only by worshipping Gauranga.
Kumar said that even when Krishna is next to any other of the most extraordinary Braja Gopis, is a different form. His highest form is really in the mandir of Radharani's heart. And how do we ever conceive of that? By worshiping Gauranga, then you can understand.
Next verse. By the Lord's divine arrangement, the supreme savior of the fallen souls appeared in Nadia as the most beloved Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And this is Guru Maharaj explaining that this type of divine worship of Mahaprabhu is beyond the vision of even Lord Brahma or Lord Shiva. Only by receiving the mercy of a devotee of Lord Gauranga can one attain such perfection. Only by the mercy of Sri Swarup Damodar, Sri Ramananda Roy, Sri Rupa, Sri Sanatan, Sri Raghunath, Sri Jiva, and their associates do the devotees attain that vision. Then Jaya Guru Gaura Radha Govinda Sundara. This is the names of the deities. All glories to Sri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Sundara. Then, O devotees, always sing their eternal glories. Jaya Dao, Bhakta Vrinda, Nitya Nirantara. That's what we're singing. And Srila Guru Maharaj composed that and kept the Gaura Ati, Jaya, what's it called? Kiva Jaya Jaya Gaura Chanda. Kept the Gaura Ati, which is for the Pancha Tattva. When you see the Gaura Ati, it is explaining about the Pancha Tattva and the worship going on a glorious throne, etc. And Pancha Tattva means that mantra, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar, Srivas, Adi, and Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, the devotees of the Lord. But he kept that, and Guru said, in honor and respect of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who established that, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had that system, so we honor them so this way. So we also this is, and now somebody can sing, but not me. Somebody can sing, but not me. Oh, what will you sing? Yes. Excuse me, sorry, Joe. Oh, yes. Sorry. Oh, wow. Okay, please sing something. If nothing else, Hare Krishna. Everyone knows the word.
We can sing Premadama, I guess.
Yes.
We are on verse 61,
Right.
which is page page 122. Yamunambu Krishna Radhikari Kali Malam Yakta Kuta Nita Shivya Jimadana Krishna Radhikari Kali Malam Yakta Kuta Nita Shivya Jimadana Moda Murtala Chamakara Prema Dhamma Deva Meva Namigo Sundara Tam Premadaya Bhava Siddha Chekana Samakritam Shambhu Veda Chantam Vedya Satya Sutta Prema Dhamma Deva Vedam Namido Sundaram Vekya Murtaya Hanadi Navadam Vita Vikramoshani Sajanayana Sampatam Sarvabhari Gauraram Prema Dhamma Devam Devam Namigaram Veda Chandra Shaka Tumba Purnima Shaka Chandra Goparaja Jata Gora Chandra Krishna Nama Sangata Paraparam Sokya Lakshanam Madhubhava Matanendra Shikana Mantanam Laksha Purna Tattva Tattvaratara Prema Dhamma Deva Meva Keshavakya Bharati Sakata Keshavakya Krishna Seva Chandra Shaka Poguna Nikam Nyasa Soma Netra Veda Chandra Shaka Poguna Sing Veda Chandra Shaka Poguna Nikam Nyasa Soma Netra Veda Chandra Shaka Vana Veda Chandra Shaka Lochanantara Vana Veda Chandra Shaka Lochanantara Prema Dhamma Deva Meva Namigo Sundara Prema Dhamma Deva Meva Namigo Sundara Prema Dhamma Deva Meva Namigo Sundara Vishwarupa Raya Sangha Harsha Shesha Gosana Shikshana Kathatya Krishna Kirtanai Kapora Vishwarupa Raya Sangha Harsha Shesha Gosana Nama Matra Vishwa Jivanayaka Sambhara Prema Nama Matra Vishwa Jivanayaka Sambhara Prema Dhamma Devame Bhamami Gaura Sundara Prema Dhamma Deva Deva Nami Gaura Sundara Prema Dhamma Deva Deva Nami Gaura Sundara Prema Deva Deva Saresha Manjata Shamyatam Mahaparata Rashiresa Yajna Prema Deva 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 Saresha Manjata Shamyatam Mahaparata Rashiresa Yajna Tareshu Ramananda Dasa Sambara Shakam prema damti namaka Patam goram rata samamayam Sharapa Sakata Sakam prema damti namaka Sakam kopi patam goram rata samamayam Shata Gaura Deshi Siddhanta Saraswati Shata Gaura Deshi Siddhanta Saraswati Sridhara Prabhita Shishya Shridanti Nati Sudaram Sridhara Prabhita Shishya Shridanti Sudaram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
And I know you've all read all the translation while you've been singing, but I'm going to read the translation of just the last two verses, 69 and 70. So this is Srila Guru Maharaj explaining. With great joy, Sri Gauranga Sundar told his dearmost associates, Sri Sarup Damodar and Ramananda Roy, that the process of congregationally chanting the holy names of Krishna bestows the highest benediction upon the living entities in this age of Kali. And the verse, Harshe Prabhu Kohena, Shuno Swarupa Ramaraya, Nama Sankirtana Kalau, Parama Upaya. And in his famous composition, Sri Shikshastakam also, Lord Gauranga has placed the chanting of Lord Krishna's names on the topmost level of importance. Supreme Lord further taught that chanting Lord Krishna's names in pure love of Godhead perfectly nourishes and fully satisfies all the living entities in the universe. I offer my obeisances to that beautiful golden Lord, Gauranga Sundar, the divine form of Krishna Prema. So in one verse we've got everything. But actually in 70 verses we've got the whole essential points of Chaitanya Charitamrita. And then the verse 70, after also in 69 verses, all the glorification of the Leela, the pastimes expressing. And the very last verse, verse 70, then Srila Guru Maharaj is making the prayer. He's not asking anything throughout. He's giving all glorification. But right at the end, he's saying, O my golden Lord, Suvarna Varna Hemanga, O ocean of prema, kindly grant me the wealth of your divine love. Please give some slight attention to this fallen soul and pardon his unlimited offenses. There are so many servants of Sri Rupa who are so dear to you. And my only aspiration is that you count me as one of those servitors. O Gauranga Sundar, O Gaurasundar, you are the sole protector and embodiment of good fortune for me. And soul is spelled S-O-L-E when you're hearing, necessary to know that it's not saying sole protector, he's saying the only protector. You are the only protector and the embodiment of good fortune for me, Ramananda Das. This is his name before Sanya. I offer my obeisances to you, O Gauranga Sundar, my most beautiful golden Lord. the divine form of Krishna Prema. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, did Sridhar Maharaj compose that before he announced, or he's doing that at a
No, after sentence, certainly. Yeah. And he composed it during the time of Srila Gurudev. So after Srila Gurudev had come to Guru Maharaj. Yes, out of humility. And Srila Gurudev said that at first Guru Maharaj composed perhaps seven verses. And then Gurudev sees his writing and he's thinking maybe it'll be an astakam, many astakams, 8 verses of glorification. Then Guru Maharaj composed 8 verses. Then another day he's with Guru Maharaj, so he's composing 9 verses. Then he's saying, okay, it'll be a dashakam, then 10 verses. And then everything like that, 10 verses. Then after some time he saw, oh, Guru Maharaj composing another verse. Then, then maybe it could be Dwadashakam, 12 verses. These are all quite standard. The 8, 10, 12 verses. And then Srila Guru Maharaj just kept on going. He made 70 verses. And Guru Maharaj, after this, he tried to make the substance, the essence, similar to this, the essence of Srimad Bhagavatam in 100 verses. But Guru Maharaj said at that time, I was aged, already become aged. And humbly he says, well, I could not read that. But sometimes he quotes from the early verses of that, the Srimad Bhagavatam. And that's where that verse, isn't it? On the banks of the deep blue ocean.
Right.
Do you know that verse off by heart?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Guru Maharaj's condensation of Srimad Bhagavatam that he made some progress with. But Guru Maharaj is not going to give something which is not absolutely perfect. And he felt that in his older age, that capacity was not with him. So Guru Maharaj is never wanting to give it, not 150%. Is thou
Nilam Bodhi Tate Sada Swaviraha Kshetpam Mikam Bandavam Srimad Bhagavati Katha Madiraya Sanjivayam Bhattiya Srimad Bhagavatam Swa Sada Nayana Shu Payanai Pujaya Goswami Prabhuro Vidadhar Vibhur Bhuyatman Ekagati.
and is that the very first verse? Or not?
Well, I've heard that he made like 3 pranam mantras in the beginning, one to Gadadhar Pandit, and then the one to Srimati Radharani, and then some to Vyasadeva, which I don't know, but so it's like one of the beginning 3.
First verses.
Yeah.
And would you like to say the translation?
Well, it says that on the banks of the...
Try to tell, not me, try to tell the devotees in the back of the room.
Hello.
On the banks of that broad blue ocean, Gadadhar Pandit would read Srimad Bhagavatam to Mahaprabhu, and it says that he's feeling this internal pain of swaviraha, which means he's feeling separation from himself, which is very beautiful, but he's feeling this very intense internal pain. And then it says like how a friend will supply an intoxication to someone to give them relief. Srila Gadadhar Pandit is supplying many different shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam to give his dear friend relief. And then it says that while he's doing this, like flower offerings, his tears are falling onto the pages of the Bhagavatam. And then Guru Maharaj says, he offers his obeisances, and he says that Gadadhar Pandit is the best of Goswamis. And so his only aspiration in trying to do that composition is to please Gadadhar Pandit.
Right. And we heard We heard this at also at Radha Pandit's Total Gopinath temple. And Keshwanand has just been there in the Total Gopinath temple. Would you like to give a report from your visit today? Did you go chant or what?
Yes, we just went and put our heads down there. So beautiful. It was down the moon is so beautiful. It changed color from silver to golden, and that beautiful garden there. Very peaceful place, very conducive place to be, to chant Hare Krishna, to just observe the sweet breezes and the Feki Dham, Radha Kund and Sham Kund, and the little Bhajan Kutir, which is just a little, it looks like a little, it's just literally a little hut, brick hut with a sadhu living there who's reading his Shastra. And a beautiful little child, little tiny child like this, who was giving him, smiling and pranam and giving him obeisance, and then he'd do back and he'd smile more, and it just very sweet and beautiful pastimes in front of this inconceivable deity on the eve, the adivas of the appearance of the most magnanimous Nityananda Prabhu. So we were feeling very blessed in Navadvip by the Dham, through the affectionate, the mercy of Srila Gurudev and Guru Maharaj and our Srila Madhusudam Maharaj and our well wishers. Then we were very much felt embraced by the Dham in Navadvip, and we're feeling the same way here with all the devotees in by the broad blue ocean, and we feel that we've been blessed by being blessed by the Dham, not what we can see. Can't see very much. Oh, we've watched the flag changing on the top of the Jagannath Mandir, watched him climbing up and all the way to the top, and all the crowds clapping and Jai Jagannath from all around the temple as the flags were changed, and using the map and ended up going through so many little back streets, and just beautiful interactions between the Dhambasis and us, seeing that where they live and seeing their daily lives going on in the service of Lord Jagannath, everything here revolving around his service, and then these hidden beautiful walking by Svetaganga again and Sarvabhauma, but these hidden places which are held in the hearts of the servant. Yesterday we heard the line of Sri Rupa, these places that are dear to the servants of Sri Rupa, to the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, to Guru Maharaj, to Gurudev, to our masters. This is their places, we can say, where their hearts are residing, serving. So it's just sweet to be anywhere here, really, to see and to thank our lucky stars that we were granted this opportunity to be here with all the devotees so happily. And really, I mean, it's for me, I know it's definitely true. We've spent some time in Vrindavan or Gopinath or Govardhan, and these places are spiritual places that it's the Holy Dam, but the Holy Dam is not so easy to approach. actually. But when the devotees are here, and when we're all together, and when we're under our shelter, and we're going consciously on parikrama as the family, then it becomes a different thing again. Really. I mean, we could come again next month. We could just buy a ticket and come to Puri on our own, but it would not be the same experience at all. Really. And even if we have some service here, then okay, we have some reason to be here. We may have some service here, but still, when all the devotees come, then we're very happy that we feel protected and safe and in our family, and we feel at home, even though we know we're not from here. Even though we can't even imagine really what it's like to be a resident of Vrindavan or Puri. I mean, their lives, you know, but we feel very at home here. And because it's the Dham, then we're accepted like that, very happily. So we're feeling very fortunate to be here, and we're hoping that we can take this wonderful heart's delight, and and to communicate some of that to our friends and family and to the devotees that keep our fires burning brightly with the wonderful flame. This morning we saw the flame burning on the top of Jagannath's temple, and I'd not seen that before. I'd heard about it on the top of Govindaji in Vrindavan. Said they burnt 250 kg, whatever it was. They burnt a lot of ghee every night on the top of that temple. We'd heard that, but I hadn't seen like that. This beautiful fire on top of Jagannath's temple. And what a sight!
All the mist too in the morning, like
mist.
softened everything. Like,
And those flags are so
Something.
just, what are they? They're just how chamatkar in that auspicious, beautiful victory flags fluttering over. It reminds us like of our own, of Guru Maharaj's flag fluttering over the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat, and the conception, this beautiful Susidanta Srila. Huh?
I'm sorry.
No.
But you singing the glories, it's almost, I mean, everything's conscious substance. And it's almost like they're singing the glories of
Yes.
Jagannath.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no.
Bring it every time.
Singing the flags are singing the glories. Yes. Absolutely. And we felt that in Vrindavan, and because all the shlokas on the walls, it was like those walls are singing the glories of Radha, Krishna, Guru Bhaga. And conscious, it's what we're told, isn't it? It's all conscious substance, divine conscious substance. So, and we can say that, Gurudev's given us a little taste of that. We can't deny that. We're not saying that, oh yes, I can this and that. We understand who I am and my conditioning, but still, how can we deny the generosity and affectionate and mercy of our divine guardians, who just very encouragingly and beautifully give us some glimpse.
That's better. Now people get that.
Joy Gurudev, Joy Gurudev.
The rumor said that sorry, I'm a little dyslexic or something.
Why is
He said even the books are like in Avatar Ramananda. But the Charja, all of these great parts of the Lord, they all walked here. But anyway, it's good to be conscious, to remember, because it's true, when you first come home, it's oh, it's so late. And then you just sort of get caught, my laundry's not drying, and then I think, and then you just remember, oh my goodness, don't forget where you are, just don't forget, just keep it in your heart, in your mind. Look, Lord Jagannath's pastimes are so astonishing and so affectionate and so, we all know so many beautiful stories of Lord Jagannath's pastimes. Like the Lord of the universe, that's the meaning of Jagannath. He's so playful.
It can get you into serious trouble.
Yeah, into trouble. Srila Gurudev told me one day, the little deities in Vrindavan? It's the big deities. And the little deities. He said, look at Krishna. He told us so much. We're always sort of. He said, look at his face. Look at him, and he will talk to you. He said, very dangerous. First, I've never quite happened. Every once in a while, I have a picture of him. He just said,
Jackfruit, there's some jackfruit.
oh, with Lord Jagannath. Should I tell that story?
Go on, tell us the story.
Tell us a story.
Once upon a time.
Yeah.
Now you can begin.
Once upon a time in the infinite, eternal existence. And anyone can correct me, but we did hear Gurudev tell this story. And so there was one old, really elderly servant of Lord. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I doing a little too
No, not loud enough.
like that? Okay. I'm trying to sit still. I know
But where's the
I
book?
flop all around a lot.
I thought we learned a long time ago.
Mm.
Like some of it. Oh,
alluded.
So Lord Jagannath, he said to Madhava, now you know the Pandas, they're the servants in the Jagannath temple. And if you want to know, not the standard kind of servant, here we are. So the Pandit, but anyway, nearby there was a Pandit's house. And Lord Jagannath decided he wanted to steal from his servant. So he said to Madhava, let's go over to this Pandit's house and steal his jackfruit, because he's got big jackfruit in it. And so they went there. And the Madhava said, oh, I can't do that. He said, no, you're fine. You just stay down here. I'll climb the tree and I'll throw the jackfruit down to you and you just catch it. I'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Oh my goodness. When Gurudev was telling this story, we were roaring with laughter. It was very, very funny. So Lord Jagannath climbs the tree and he's sitting up in the tree and he takes off his uttariya, his shawl, and just hangs it in the tree because it's, he's going to do some work. And he gets the jackfruit and he throws it down. And then the Pandit hears the commotion and he comes up, what's going on? And when they hear the Pandit coming, Lord Jagannath jumps out of the tree and runs away and leaves Madhava standing there. Jackfruit. He takes off. And then he goes back to the temple like a good boy. And then, so the Pandit's so angry, and he said, "Oh, you standing there, you're begging like a big saint, and you're just a thief." And he calls the police, and they give him a beating. When he said, "No, it wasn't my idea. It was Lord Jagannath," and they said, "What? Crazy man!" He said, "No, look, he left his Atari up in the tree. You stole his Atari." And they give him a good beating. And then the next morning, and then the Panda in the night gets a dream. The Pujari said, "Come and put some ointment on my back." It's just, what happened? I'm like, no, it's just that they were beating my servant, Madhava, and I took the beating. And he did so he wouldn't suffer. Really, it was my fault. And then news, troubles, and suddenly Madhava becomes this very famous person, and he just takes off and leaves. Poor, he couldn't tolerate it, couldn't tolerate the beating, all the fuss. And then he went to Vrindavan. And Madhava lived in Vrindavan, and he'd just be begging a little bit. And then he'd get a little bit of money. And he was living in front of the temple of one of the deities of Vrindavan. I forget now. But always, whenever he got some money and he would buy something, he would just offer it to that deity in his heart. So he was always buying fried chana, like fried chickpeas, because this was very cheap. And so he would offer them to the deity. I can't remember the deity's name. But then his pujari, the deity's pujari, came in, cooked very, very nicely, offered it to the deity. And then he was a high type of devotee, and he could tell that the deity had not eaten. So he thought, oh, I've done something wrong. I did something wrong. And so he went and cooked all over again, made the offering, and still the deity didn't eat. And then he just began fasting. And he just lay down very, what have I done? Now these are all feelings of love. Like, what did I do? Oh my Lord. And then he got a dream. Dream meaning some revelation. And he said, no, it's not your fault. It's just my devotee Madhava. He keeps offering me this fried chana. And I have indigestion. I really can't eat anything now. You need to give me some medicine. So these are the stories of the devotees of the Lord. Some of them.
of the unlimited.
Unlimited glories of the Lord. And these pastimes are not just history. They're all happening eternally. In the past times, in the divine pastimes, there's no estrangement of past and future. All these things are eternally happening. All of them. They can show themselves to anyone at any time. And all of these things can be, we're not living, time and space are in the mind of the conditioned soul. And they are the actions and reactions of exploitation coming in the form of time. You know, the results of our actions are coming. That's not existing in divinity. So all these things, and so when we're living and we're coming here, and we're remembering what we've heard, but sometimes when we would go on parikrama, oh Maharaj, I'm blabbing over here.
Oh no.
Sometimes when we were going on parikrama, especially when, in the time of Gurudev, he'd do this. You remember we're going out the gate, and he's and we felt like his holy lotus feet were like a big umbrella over us. We felt no fear of anything. We felt like we could do no wrong. We were just crazy, like kids with our big guardian over top of us, no worry. But sometimes we would be like dancing down the main road of Mayapur, where so many beautiful Gaudiya Mat temples are, and still are, and we, got that impression that we're not going down some, like you go to the Roman ruins or something that's, always going on. The Lord's divine appearance is always going on in Mayapur. All these things are eternal, and they're always there, they're there. And when we come to these holy, we're actually coming into the divine atmosphere and knowing that we're not right, that we're not as we should be. But we bow down to this holy place of so much mercy and affection. And again, we're under the guidance and under the protection of our holy Guru, Srila Madhusudan Maharaj. And knowing that we are small children, but we're not orphans.
Good.
We're not orphans, just wandering the mean streets of exploitation. Going in the garbage pails of the sense objects to get something to eat. But we're actually protected, even though we're so young. And we have no fear. Not a care in the world, really. Happily knowing that our guardian's affection is not withdrawn.
Very similar.
And you told the story about Raha already this morning, and I didn't get to hear it.
Why didn't you?
Well, I can't go out until the fog goes up, because I'll get a call. So that's why I missing some of the early morning times of Srila Madhusudan. I just have to look at the pictures.
Well, my pastimes haven't been like absolutely exemplary because I wanted to be up an hour before Mangalarti. But you all wear me out so much. Getting up an hour before. Now getting up at 10 past 4, and then have time to get up and to bathe and thing and Gayatri and maybe one round. But we should really get up at 3:15 if we want to.
I get up at 3:15, but I don't want to. No, so you say that, very bad example.
If you have the energy, it's kind of visible.
Yeah, it's true. It's a beautiful part of the day. If you go outside before, like an hour before Mangal Arati or an hour and a half before sunrise, you really do feel sorry for everyone in bed. It's a beautiful atmosphere. Even in the West, the atmosphere is different. It's thin. It's not so dense and gross. It's a different type of feeling in the morning, especially when you're outside.
But here, the sunrise is quite late.
Yeah.
It's 8:03 or 8 something.
Yeah.
It looks up. So actually, our samsara, our data, will leave during the Brahman.
Yeah. I can hardly help it.
I have a question about when we talk about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu past time, because it's eternal, and when we say should it be in present tense or like, yeah, because sometimes I write
Yeah, I
what
understand.
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
like past.
I mean, it's just, yeah. I mean, we do think of, I mean, yeah.
You could just repeat the questions so everybody can hear.
So, did you saying that, we do hear about the past and that happened, but that's awkward when you're speaking. Am I right? Yeah, that's a little awkward in terms of speaking to people because it was, 500 and something years ago. And so it's the past, and Guru Maharaj and Gurudev also would describe things in the past tense. Because that's just how we think of things. But we can also try to remember that these things are all possible. And Guru Maharaj said, anywhere you are, if Vrindavan wants you to see herself, anywhere she can show you. It's not limited by time and space, like we just think that way. We can hardly help it. We conceptualize ourselves in certain mental ways, time and, that's just how we think because we're not in Vaikuntha. But Vaikuntha doesn't have measurements or restrictions. And but still, just for practical sense ways. And we say, oh, so and so long, this long time ago, Krishna 5,000 years ago. And it's true, 5,000 years ago, he manifested his pastimes. But that doesn't mean that his pastimes are no longer going on. It's just they're unmanifest, but they're always going on. So there's both things there in terms of manifestation. But they're still going on. Just like sometimes the Ganga disappears. The holy rivers sometimes disappear, but they're still there. It's just that we don't see them. And so all these things are going on, but sometimes not manifest to the senses of the souls in this world. But they're always there. Question.
It's also not just about the past. All of you are familiar with the Navadip Down Mahatmya, which is very quickly this time.
Oh,
And there in the Navadip Down Mahatmya, there are so many cases which are being shown where they, I think Ramanujacharya and others, then they saw what you could say in time, the future. They got revelation of Mahaprabhu and this fasting and this pastime. So it's not only, we're thinking that if we concentrate, we can see the past. We don't know what is the future. So how can we concentrate and see the future? So it's not a matter of our mental exercise, imagination. But when we will see. When the sun comes up, the sun comes up. And so also the future pastimes may be seen. maybe tonight you'll see Kalki.
Kalki in one of the Leela avatars, or the Yuga avatars also, they come at the end of Kali Yuga, so it hasn't come yet for another 300,000 years or something.
It's 400, if you want to know how much longer, so after 427,000 years, because Kali Yuga lasts 432,000 years, and we're 5,000 years in.
You don't want to
So,
go around at the
you
end.
know, we're at the beginning of Kali Yuga, and so it's not too bad. The Kali Yuga will become quite atrocious.
When people forget, when people lose, or when
You
people,
have to ask me.
I can just go waffling on. So and we've seen that. We've seen people coming to the edge of faithlessness. When there's no scripture, there's no truth being manifest in the world, madness it comes to madness almost instantly. If you have no reality, no truth by which to measure your existence, instant insanity. And it doesn't take any time at all. If you don't have anything truthful, steady reality by which to measure your life, then you have nothing. You'll just spin off in the mental world and be lost beyond finding. It's a horrific state of affairs. And as soon as there's no divine truth in your life, you don't need a human voice. You might as well just start barking. Because your words will be nothing more than eating, sleeping, eating, and being afraid. That's it. So Srimati Sridhar is so keen that all over the world, people will find this reality and recenter their lives. But it's not just ordinary Veda, not that the Veda is ordinary, but what Mahaprabhu was given. It's really important to help other people. Because when we first started, when we first opened our temple in Salt Lake City, and a lot of teenagers were coming from high school, now they're all adults, but I would get phone calls all the time in the middle of the night. Kids were having panic attacks. I never even heard of a panic attack when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. But it's because they don't have anything didn't have any truth. They'd lost everything by which they can understand who they are. No sense of somebody at all. And it's scary beyond belief. All in the name of freedom and, this idea of freedom, but it's actually the worst darkness. It's very terrifying. So we don't want that. And we want to help out or, give some truth, give some real, actual, substance that whatever we have been given, we will try to share that. It's hard to believe that, when Mahaprabhu appeared, it was the Dark Ages in Europe. So this is where Kali Yuga had gotten to. It was already intolerable. And then all of a sudden the Renaissance happened just out of nowhere. It's actually right on that timeline. But, so when the Ganga dries up and when Govardhan disappears, Kali Yuga will come in like a hurricane.
It's written in the scripture.
Hare Krishna.
On that topic, we hear like there will be some 10,000-year golden age of Mahaprabhu, but I can't say I heard that from like Guru Maharaj or Gurudev.
Well, Goswami Maharaj, who knows of the scriptures and knows how to research, he said, I've looked everywhere and I'm always looking, I don't see any mention in the scripture of this golden age. But he said, if it has been said somewhere, then we can consider it's this age where the Lord has arrived now, and we've got this golden opportunity to have that connection. But still, Goswami Maharaj said that everywhere I see in the scripture, it doesn't say anywhere it's going to get better. But the Kali Yuga is going to get worse and worse and worse. But for the devotee, for the fortune, the Bhagyavan Jiva, the fortunate Jivas, we have this opportunity now. By the fact it's being said, we don't know quite where that's come from. And some things do come from nowhere. And maybe Keshananda was telling the story about tying up the dog before you read Srimad Bhagavatam. I mean, that's a classic story. I've heard different versions of that. It's something comes from nowhere, and then it becomes told that it is like that. We see that in this world about what's said about people and things. It didn't even happen, but yet they come happen. So what to speak of something which somebody said was a golden age. But that question does seem to come up a lot. But at least we can say, what does it matter about the future? What does it matter about the past? For ourselves, we have this connection now, this opportunity now, and not to stay around. We were saying that at any moment, this opportunity can be broken. So we must take this opportunity seriously, and if we don't take it seriously, why will fate, why will providence keep on giving us the opportunity? You're hungry, here's a wonderful plate of prasad. We kind of neglect it, eat dead animals. Denying the mercy that's coming. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur was very merciful. He gave us many things. One of them is Hari Parayana.
Such mercy.
And we've got, we've got Maharaj.
I know.
Sorry, let's hear from Maharaj. You've been very quiet. You've been sitting there almost invisible. Maharaj. Microphone? Would you like the microphone? And TV cameras? Record label?
Recording contract.
Recording contract. Maharaj. So Jai evening discussion.
Jai.
I did have something we could read. We'll keep it for another day.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Hari Paraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama
Hari Hari Rama Krishna Yadavaya Nama
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Jai
He's on the plane.
By the way, if anyone has not read the battle between Brahmadev and Hiranyaksha, you should read it. It's in the 8th canto. I can't remember what canto. It's in the Bhagavatam. You can read it.
I think it's the 7th canto. I think
Oh.
it's the build-up to Hiranyakashipu. It's a much shorter pastime. Well, maybe not a short pastime, but much shorter description. It's the build-up because Hiranyaksha was the older brother of Hiranyakashipu. And this is how Hiranyakashipu got very angry because Vishnu killed his brother. But his brother is the one who threw the earth into the bottom of the ocean. So you could think if it's your brother, well, you shouldn't be too bodily attached. He's my brother, he's a naughty boy. But anyhow, this is all building up to showing how material attachments, material identification, all causing problems. But there is a Leela behind it all, and Srila Guru Maharaj Gurudev, they are expressing about this Leela. Krishna, he wants to exercise his muscles, he wants a good wrestling match, a good fight. And we are not fit, you just give us a slap for a finish. So anyway, it is a Leela that the gatekeepers of Vaikuntha, out of pastime, they were cursed to come into the material world. So anyway, I won't spoil it all for you. Read it straight from the book.
And that battle between Hiranyaksha and the Lord is really funny and really amazing. And just the battle, I mean, everything leading up to the battle is amazing.
And the shaking of the
Yeah.
of the bristles of
Yeah.
the boars. body, everything, and that water going everywhere.
And the one thing, let's say one tiny little piece of water.
Of course.
But it was, they're fighting, right? They're on, first hearing the actions, insulting the Lord. Oh, you beast, what are you doing? And the Lord comes and picks up the earth, and it looks like a tiny little jewel on the end of his tusk. Get a little perspective here. And, but they're fighting, and at one part of the battle, Hiranyaksha knocks or the Lord throws his mace at Hiranyaksha, and Hiranyaksha knocks it down, and it goes spinning down, and it's lying on the water. And then he's just like, "Oh, you can pick it up. I won't fight with you right now. I'll give you a chance to pick it up." Thus infuriating the personality of God.
Yeah.
It's such a funny thing. It's like, like if somebody's like really kind to you, and you just anyway, it was really funny. It's a great pastime. It's so beautiful. I know it so.
Sevarupa Devirasi, before you leave from the Prasadam hall, she'll give us the
Coordinates.
The coordinates, yeah.
Before we start Prasadam, I think.
Huh?
Before we start to eat Prasadam, link
It doesn't take her more than when we're on the Zoom, she's going to Zoom straight away. Where the pastime begins, where. Yeah,
One time this Russian devotee said to me, "Oh, I've got a question. Something in the Vedas I'm finding a bit hard to understand." "Oh no, I can't quite." I said, "I know. Is it where there's a small pig, a small boar comes out of the I know. And becomes really mad." And she's like, no, it's not that."
Easy to understand.
And I'm like,
That I get, but.
"No, it's not that. No."
Not that
I'm fine with that.
Okay, Prashad.